my wife and I went to see the movie Jesus Revolution last night. And by the way, it's one of the best movies I've seen in a long time and would highly recommend it. But there's this really powerful scene in the movie. The main character, Chuck, is really kind of screwed up. And he is really bogged down, getting hit with a lot of condemnation and fear, guilt, shame. This feeling like he's really screwed up the situation beyond repair. And kind of like God couldn't use him anymore. And his wife leans over and says, "Don't be so arrogant as to think that God can't work through your mistakes, through your failures." And that really hit me. Because I think we can all identify with that. If you're a human, if you're alive, we've all made some pretty serious mistakes. Maybe nobody else knows about them, but we do. Or maybe it's even something we're currently struggling with and feeling like, man, I'm just blowing it. If anybody knew, I'd be done. God certainly couldn't use me. Or maybe you're at the other end of the spectrum. Everybody knows. You got a name around town and you're a failure, a screw up. But the reality is all of those are lies. Nobody else gets to tell you your worth or what God can do through you. You don't even get to determine that. God is the one. He's the creator. He's the one that sees you. He's the one that sees your worth and says, I know the plans I have for you. He was able to use King David in a mighty way, even after he screwed up really bad, committed adultery and murder. But he turned his heart back to God, and God used him in a powerful way. And you're here on this earth for a reason. You're here, you're now, on purpose. You're the only one of you. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, hasn't changed. God isn't up there saying, oh crap, I had this plan, but now he screwed up so bad, now I'm stuck. He knows the end. The Bible says he knew the end from the beginning. And if he's the creator of the universe, if he knows that end from the beginning, don't you think he knew ahead of time about your and my failures? And don't you think he's big enough to work through that? He sure is. He needs every one of us. You're not done. All he needs is our yes, our agreement with him to say yes. Because he's God and we're not. The Bible says that when we are weak, when we're willing to be weak and surrender to him, that's when his power shows up. It's not based on how great we are and how strong we are, but it's his power in you at work. The same spirit that raised Christ from the dead, that same power wants to dwell in you and do amazing things that you can't even imagine. And welcome to the Great Awakening.